Philippe! Nice of you to join us. Who is your friend?
This is my brother, Raoul, the Vicomte de Chamy, and a lieutenant in the Marine Nationale. Raoul, allow me to introduce you to our party, the Comte and Comtesse de Menera.
Please, just call us Alphonse and Julie. I insist.
I'm pleased to make your acquaintance, Alphonse and Julie.
We've heard so much about you from your brother. He speaks of nothing else.
And why not? Raoul has a distinguished career ahead of him. He takes right after our great-grandfather.
Admiral Chagny de la Roche? So you mentioned. He's a little young for an admiral, isn't he?
One step at a time, my good Alphonse. The point is, Raoul's earned his shore leave, and I mean to show him all the delights of Paris while he's here. Can I count on your help?
Yes, of course, we'd be delighted. There's so much to see in town.
Like this gala, for instance. It's about to begin.
Yes, of course.
Was all that praise really necessary? What will they think of me?
Prestige earns respect, Raoul. Let your reputation precede you. There's Sorelli. What do you think?
Your words didn't do her justice. You must count yourself a lucky man.
Say the word, and I could arrange for you to meet one of her colleagues.
No, thank you, Philippe.
Suit yourself, but take my advice, Raoul. At your age, it's good not to be too good.
Madame was wonderful. Simply wonderful.
Thank you, Maria. Has the Juliet costume been pressed?
Yes, madame. I'll go get it for you.
Hello, Maria? Is someone out there?
¿Qué?
Maria, is that you?
It's me, madame. And I have your costume.
Well, then what are you waiting for? Bring it inside.
But, madame, the door is locked.
Locked? It can't be. Let me see. Maria, where's the key?
Isn't it in the lock, madame?
No. Why did you lock the door?
I didn't, madame.
Then where's the key?
I don't know.
We have to find it. Look around the door.
It's no use, madame. There's no key out here.
It must be stuck. This is ridiculous.
Is there something wrong?
Madame Carlotta is locked inside and we can't find the key.
Oh, Monsieur Remy, thank goodness. I'm due on stage any minute now. You've got an extra set of keys, haven't you?
Of course. Let me see here. I'll have you out in a second. What? There seems to be a problem with the lock, madame.
What? But I must get out. I'm going to miss my encore.
Yes, of course. We'll think of something.
Oh, madame, I'm so sorry. It's all my fault. I lost the key and now you're trapped with no hope and no way out. Oh, what can we do?
Calm down, Maria. This is no time for hysterics.
sorry, madame. I will try to calm down.
What's the matter?
The lock is jammed. Carlotta is trapped in her room.
But she's due on stage. The ballet's just ending. Is there anything I can do to help?
No, not unless... Mademoiselle Daye, can you sing the aria?
Yes, I think so. I've sung it before.
You'll have to sing in Carlotta's place.
Me? Monsieur Remy, I don't like this.
It can't be helped, Carlotta. We need the encore right now. Please get ready, Mademoiselle Daye. Maria will help you with the costume.
Yes, Monsieur Remy, right away.
I'm sorry about this, Carlotta.
In all my years, I've never missed an encore.
I understand. Now wait right there and I'll get some help.
Mesdames and messieurs, I regret to inform you that La Carlotta will not be singing her encore this evening. To sing in her place, we now present to you a promising new talent from our opera, Mademoiselle Christine Daye.
Did he say Christine Daye?
Oh, was she a friend of yours?
Shh, I don't want to miss this.
I am willing to keep on dreaming, keep on thrilling my heart's yearning. I am guarding such sweet love.
Got it.
Finally.
She's quite good. Hey, Raoul?
She's wonderful. Do you think we could go backstage to see her?
Certainly. I know a shortcut.
I guess there's already a line.
A Shaney doesn't need to wait. Let's go. Pardon. Excuse me, sir. Raoul? Oh.
Philippe!
Ah, Cyrilli. I was just coming to see you.
But you decided to stop off at Daye's dressing room first, naughty.
Oh, no. This is my brother's doing. Raoul obviously wanted to see her, the little rogue. Well, he can have her. You were sensational tonight.
Even so, I've never heard Christine sing so well. I wonder what could have happened to Carlotta. It's not like her to miss an encore.
Perhaps she had a bad fit of sulking at the last minute.
All us divas are entitled to a little one now and then.
Well, we can't have that. Let's go to supper.
Thank you all for your kind words, but I should like to be alone now. Thank you all for coming. Goodbye.
Wait, Christine, could I speak with you? I haven't seen you in years.
Monsieur, have we met before?
Mademoiselle, I am the little boy who rescued your scarf.
My scarf?
Surely you remember. I was just 13 and soaked to the skin.
Because you had run into the sea to fetch my scarf. Oh, Raoul, can it really be you? It's been so long.
Almost 8 years. It's wonderful to see you again.
And you.
Oh, where to begin? There's so much to say.
For now, I'm afraid I really just need to rest. But please, come visit me and Mama Valerius. I know she'd love to see you too. We can talk then.
I understand. May I call on you tomorrow?
I'll be looking forward to it. Goodbye.
Good night, Mademoiselle. Until tomorrow, then. Oh. Address? I don't have her address.
Your music alone.
How can you talk like that? Tonight I sang my heart out.
So I heard. But who were you singing for?
What do you mean? I was singing for you, you know that. I owe you everything.
Yes, Christine, and I will never leave you.
That was odd. I guess I'll ask her about it tomorrow.
And now, Monsieur Firmin Richard, and Monsieur Armand Moncharmin, here are the master keys. You are now, officially, the new managers of the Garnier Opera House. We hope you'll care for it as we have. There's just one more thing.
We regret to inform you of a danger at the opera. An intruder, of sorts.
Oh, just be out with it, Pellini. The problem is the opera ghost.
The opera ghost?
That's what he calls himself. We've never met him in person. All we know is that things go badly when the opera ghost doesn't get his way.
We must ask you on his behalf to be pleasant with him, and to grant any requests that he might make.
Requests? What sort of requests?
We'll show you. This is the memorandum book, which defines the terms and conditions all managers must observe.
You'll notice that our copy contains a paragraph in red ink.
Wait a moment. Are you saying that the opera ghost wrote that part?
Read it for yourselves.
It says here that the opera ghost will be paid a salary of 20,000 francs a month.
So, the opera ghost wants a salary. Does he want anything else?
Yes, he does. Read there.
Box 5 on the grand tier shall be placed at the disposal of the opera ghost for every performance.
A hefty salary and a private box? Maybe he should be running the opera house. No wonder you're retiring.
If you only knew. We can't handle this anymore. We're too old for it.
Indeed.
Pah! If this ghost tries anything like that on my watch, I'll simply have him arrested.
Arrest him? Where would you send the police?
But surely when the opera ghost visits Box 5...
We have never seen him there.
If you've never seen him in his box, then just sell it.
Sell the opera ghost's box? Well, messieurs, try it.
And heaven help you. Come, Monsieur Debien. We really must be going.
Quite right. Good day, messieurs. Just follow your instructions, and everything will be fine.
What's gotten into you?
Moncharmin, I do believe the old managers have had some fun at our expense. I suppose at their age they're entitled to a joke or two.
Do you think this opera ghost business is just a joke then? I wasn't sure myself.
Of course it's a joke. Do you really believe their story about phantoms who extort money and reserved seating from their victims?
Well, it does sound unlikely.
Opera ghost indeed. I hope I can be half so jovial at my retirement.
Yes, monsieur.
Good day. I made some inquiries, and I was told that this was the address of Mademoiselle Daaye?
Yes, monsieur, it is. But I'm afraid Mademoiselle Daaye isn't receiving any visitors today. Not under any circumstances. Those were her exact words.
Oh, I see. I hope she's not ill.
I couldn't say, monsieur.
Well, I'll just take my leave then. Perhaps I'll see her at the opera. Goodbye.
Christine? What? I don't understand. No, I'm not happy with this at all. The phrasing of the flute, for instance, is completely wrong. It's not supposed to be in these two-note phrases. It's just none of the poetry remotely. I think we've got to do this all again. From the top. Carry on. Oh, they must be joking. Moncharmin simply must see this. I'll be back in an hour or so. By then, I expect to see some improvement.
Yes. And that's when the opera caught my attention. Yes.
Still writing your memoirs? You know, most people wait until they've retired.
Not all of us can be distinguished composers and music directors, Richard.
True.
Speaking of which, aren't you supposed to be with the orchestra right now?
Something came up. Moncharmin, it seems that the old managers are persisting with their joke.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about this note. The old managers have actually written to us under the guise of their opera ghost.
Extraordinary.
Yes, but I think it's in bad taste. They're actually criticizing our casting decisions.
Truly. May I hear the note?
I was hoping you'd ask. Dear managers, I am sorry to trouble you at such a busy time, when you must be renewing important contracts, signing fresh ones, and generally displaying your excellent taste.
That doesn't sound so bad.
Hush, I'm just getting to the good part. At the same time, I must question why you insist on casting La Carlotta as the lead in Faust. Surely Christine Daae's triumph at the gala has established her as the superior talent. But then you are free to conduct your little business as you think best, are you not?
That is a little bit condescending.
Oh, it gets better. One more thing. It has come to my attention that you have been selling Box 5. Your predecessors have assured me that you are aware of my terms, so I can only treat this as an outrageous act of contempt. If you wish to live in peace, you must not take away my private box. Your most humble and obedient servant, the Opera Ghost. Well, what do you think?
It's a strange business. I can't imagine why the old managers would do this to us.
Honestly, they must be crazy with boredom. Have they nothing better to do?
They seem to be greatly interested in Mademoiselle Daae. For that matter, so is the Vicomte de Chagny. He sent me a letter imploring us to give her the leading role.
Yes, I know. She really is quite good, but we've already made our arrangements for this production. Maybe next season.
And what about Box 5? Did the old managers really want it to remain unsold?
Surely not.
Well, then what do they really want? A box for tonight, perhaps?
If it makes this stop, I'm all for it. Monsieur Remy?
Yes, Monsieur Richard?
If Box 5 is not already sold, send the tickets to Debienne and Pellini, with our compliments.
Yes, Monsieur Richard.
There. Hopefully that settles it.
Good morning, messieurs. I have some letters for you.
Well, well, another letter in red ink. Let's hope our opera ghost is writing to apologize, eh? Oh, listen to this. Dear managers, thank you for the charming evening. Christine Daae was delightful as Cybele, though we both know her talents would be better utilized in the role of Marguerite. Carlotta was, as usual, a commonplace instrument. Have I said something amusing, Moncharmin?
Not at all. Carry on, please.
I will write to you soon regarding the 20,000 francs. Kind regards, the Opera Ghost. Really, this is getting ridiculous. Don't the old managers know when to quit?
They're bound to tire of this eventually, Richard. Let's just put it out of our minds for now. Ah, no red ink on this one. Let's see what it says.
Well?
If you must know, it's from the old managers.
And? What does it say?
Gentlemen, we are much obliged for your kindness in sending us tickets. However, as much as we would enjoy hearing Faust again, we have no right to occupy Box 5. As we have already stated, Box 5 is the exclusive property of the Opera Ghost. Sincerely, Debian Pellini.
That tears it. This ghost nonsense was amusing at first, but enough is enough. Monsieur Remy?
Yes, Monsieur Richard?
About Box 5. Sell it.
Here you are, Box 5.
Thank you, madame.
Alphonse, our friends will be so jealous. Box 5 hasn't been available for ages.
These must be the best seats in the house.
Excuse me. This box is taken.
What?
Who said that?
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe it came from the box next to us.
Yes, that was probably it.
This is my private box, and I'd appreciate it if you would clear out immediately.
Whoever you are, I paid good money for this box, and I won't have anyone spoiling my evening. If that doesn't satisfy you, then take it up with the management.
You tell him, Alphonse. This is our box now.
Nothing. In vain I have questioned in my staunch endeavor.
Boring.
What on earth? This doesn't bode well.
My cat sings better than this. Hey, be quiet up there.
Yeah, no one wants to hear your whining.
It isn't us, I swear.
Well, keep it down. We're trying to enjoy the opera.
On our hill, sad and solitary.
Nobody cares, you old clown. Skip to the poisoning part. I can't believe this.
Well, that makes two of us.
That's enough. Boxkeeper, kick them out.
You're ruining our evening.
Sorry, I can't hear you over this hideous opera. You two, in Box 5, you're a disgrace to the arts. Well, you would know, wouldn't you?
Alphonse, this is so humiliating. I want to go home.
Fine, let's get out of here.
Nothing.
This is an outrage. I expect a full refund.
I've never been so embarrassed in all my life.
Come on, Julie. Let's go home.
Dear managers, that was fun, wasn't it? If you wish to live in peace... You must not take away my private box. Your most humble and obedient servant, the Opera Ghost.
So our Opera Ghost is taking credit for what happened last night?
It certainly seems that way.
Monsieur Richard, the boxkeeper is here.
Good, show her in. Perhaps we'll finally get some answers.
Good day, messieurs.
What's your name, madam?
I am Madame Giry, the mother of Meg Giry. I'm sure you know her. What a talent! Such a promising dancer.
Yes, that's beside the point. We've called you here, Madame Giry, to learn what happened last night in Box 5.
The performance was disturbed by an uncouth couple. This wouldn't have happened if you hadn't sold the Opera Ghost box.
What? Are you in on this nonsense too?
Tell us, madam. Who is this Opera Ghost? Have you ever seen him?
No, I have never been so fortunate as that. But he leaves me letters in box 5, which contain his instructions.
And what do the instructions say?
Well, for instance, he might ask me to leave him a program.
So you just leave a program sitting on an empty chair?
I'm sure he appreciates it, or else why would he ask?
I understand, madam. But how did this start?
I'm not sure how long this has been happening, but it's really quite simple. Some time ago, I found a letter addressed to myself in box 5. It said that the Opera Ghost requested my services as his personal boxkeeper. And ever since then, the Opera Ghost is the only one who's used box 5. He must be very important.
So, you just started following his instructions?
Yes, and at the end of each performance, I find a gift of 2 francs. Sometimes he's left as much as 5 or 10, and one evening he left me a box of English sweets, which I'm very fond of.
Madame Giry, this is all very interesting, but we have good reason to believe that the Opera Ghost caused the disturbance.
Well, could you blame him? He was so upset last night he didn't leave me anything, except for a complaint letter. It said there would be more trouble unless you leave box 5 available to him. If I were you, messieurs, I would listen.
Richard?
Thank you, Madame Giry. That will do. You may go now.
Thank you, messieurs. Farewell.
Monsieur Remy?
Yes, Monsieur Richard?
We've decided to dispense with the services of Madame Giry, make up her accounts, and advertise the vacant position.
Richard, I assure that's wise.
You heard her, didn't you? That boxkeeper is clearly mad.
What if the old managers have simply paid her to keep their joke going?
Either way, I'm tired of this ghost nonsense. Maybe it's the old managers, or maybe it's Madame Giry, but clearly a living person is behind this. I can't do much about the old managers, but I can certainly do something about Madame Giry.
Yes, but...
I understand your concerns, mon chairman, but if we don't put our foot down, this is never going to end. Now, see to it, Monsieur Remy. I want to interview the new applicants personally.
Yes, Monsieur Richard.
Good morning, Philippe.
Is something on your mind, Raoul? You're usually more punctual for breakfast.
Well, actually, I've been thinking a lot about Christine.
Ah, Christine, eh? How's that going?
It isn't going anywhere. I visited her house, at her request, and she wouldn't see me. Then I tried to speak with her backstage, but she avoided me. And yet...
Yes?
And yet she seems so happy to see me at the gala. Philippe, what am I missing here? I've even written her a letter, but she hasn't replied.
Are you sure about that? Because I have a letter from Christine right here.
Really?
It came in the post just this morning.
It is from Christine.
Didn't I say it was? Now, don't keep me in suspense. Why not read it aloud? Unless it's too personal, of course.
No, it's fine. It says, Dear Raoul, I am going to Paris-Girac to pay my respects to my dearly departed father. He was very fond of you, and tomorrow was the anniversary of his death. He is buried in the graveyard of the little church, if you would care to meet me there. I'd consider it an honor. Christine.
Well, well, a rendezvous in Paris-Girac. That was worth the wait, wouldn't you say?
This is wonderful. Philippe, could you check the railway guide and prepare my carriage? I have to pack right away.
Ha ha! That's the spirit. What did I tell you, Raoul? She was plain hard to get, but sooner or later, they all succumbed to the Shaney charm.
Philippe, please, I'm in a hurry.
Never fear. I'll consult the railway guide while you get your bags ready. This is great news, Raoul. The thrill of the chase has begun.
Please see to my bag, sir. I have to meet someone. Christine!
Raoul! Monsieur de Cheny, how good of you to come.
I was pleased to receive your letter, Mademoiselle Daae, and I hoped that I would find you here. Why, you've been crying. Please, take my handkerchief.
No, thank you. I'm all right now. It's just... coming to this place always reminds me of how much I miss him.
I'm so sorry for your loss. Come, let's walk for a bit.
Thank you.
I noticed you're here by yourself. Is Mama Valerius at the inn?
Actually, she couldn't make the journey this year. Her health just isn't what it used to be.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, fortunately, she's as good-natured as ever. I've enjoyed being her companion, especially now that Father's gone.
Your father was a first-rate violinist. I remember the time my aunt heard him play in the village. She arranged for me to have lessons the very next day.
That's right, she did. Do you still play the violin?
Very seldom, I admit. In spite of your father's best efforts, I was never a musical talent. But at least I got to see you every day.
We were the best of friends, weren't we?
Yes, we must have explored the entire coastline that summer.
I loved the evenings best, when we'd sit by the fireplace with Professor and Mama Valerius. Father would play his violin until it got dark, and then tell us the legends from the north. You know, I sometimes wonder if I'll ever be that happy again.
I miss those days too. Why don't we watch the sea from our old spot?
You know, Raoul, we never spent another summer here.
You didn't?
No. After the professor passed away, Mama Valerius entered me into the conservatory in Paris. I devoted myself to my music, and it was Father's dearest wish to hear me sing in the opera. But he never lived to see it, and ever since he died, I haven't felt the same joy in my singing.
But then you had your triumph at the gala. You were marvelous. You know, I've written to the management and asked them to consider you for the lead in Faust.
That's very kind of you, Raoul, but I'm not asking for any favors. My work should probably speak for itself, don't you think?
Yes, I suppose you're right.
Besides, these things will happen when they're meant to. At least that's what they say.
What do you mean?
Oh, it's nothing. Let's watch the sea like you suggested. It's still beautiful, isn't it?
It's just how I remembered it.
How have you been getting on, Raoul? How's your family?
Well, my two sisters are both married now, and my brother Philippe is busy running the family estate. As for me, I've finished my course and become a lieutenant in the Navy.
A lieutenant! Yes, I should have guessed from your uniform the other night. It suited you. Is it everything that you hoped it would be?
Yes, it suited me very well. I've always loved the sea, and my assignments have taken me all over the world. Even so, I've often thought of you.
I've thought of you too. You and your family, I mean. Will you be in Paris very long?
No, I'm actually just on leave. After that, I'll be shipping out to the Arctic Circle.
Oh, I suppose you'll be months away at sea. But you must be used to such things.
Yes, but it can be lonely at times. It would mean a great deal to me to know that someone missed me while I was away. That someone was waiting for me back at home.
It's getting cold out. We should probably head back to the inn.
Christine, if I knew that you cared, that you'd be waiting for me, I know I could face anything. Your friendship has meant the world to me, but I feel it could be something more. Chance has brought us together again, and I can't miss this opportunity to say how very fond of you I am.
You are? I mean, you mustn't say such things. I thought we were just old friends. Maybe I was wrong to invite you here.
I see. I think I understand. You're interested in someone else, aren't you?
No, why would you say that?
On the night of the gala, after you dismissed me, well, forgive me, but I overheard you speaking with a man in your dressing room.
You did? What did you hear?
You said, I was singing for you, I owe you everything. And he replied, I will never leave you.
But how could you possibly hear that? I thought only I could hear him.
Christine, you're not making any sense. Why shouldn't I be able to hear him? And who is he, anyway?
Raoul, do you remember the legend of the Angel of Music?
Of course, your father told it to us, but what has that got to do with anything?
Just listen. When my father was dying, he said, "When I am in heaven, I will send the Angel of Music to you." Well, it's happened. I have been visited by the Angel of Music, or at least I can hear his voice. He's the one who's been training me to sing. That's who you heard the other evening.
Surely you don't believe... Christine, I think that somebody's making a fool of you.
What do you mean? You still think you heard the voice of a man, don't you? I'm an honest girl, and I don't lock myself in my dressing room with strange men. What do you take me for?
That's not what I'm saying. Maybe someone's played on your innocence by pretending to be an angel. I mean, surely you can see that a man might...
I knew you wouldn't believe me. I'm sorry I ever said anything.
Wait, Christine!
Please, just leave me alone.
I was only... What was that? Over here. Hello? Who's there?
Me.
What? And when I woke up, I was back at the inn. Christine was already gone, but the innkeeper said that she'd left me a letter.
Huh. Not exactly the adventure you were hoping for, was it? Well, don't give up hope, Raoul. You'll win her yet.
I'm afraid you haven't seen Christine's letter yet. Here, I may as well read it to you. Dear Raoul, I can't bear to see you harmed. If you really care for me, then you must have the courage not to see me again. I will never forget you, Christine. So you can see, Philippe, that's the end of it.
I wonder... Raoul, you said that things were going well at first. When did it go downhill?
Well, probably when I asked if she was interested in someone else.
Ha! Well then, I'd say your question hit the mark. Raoul, you do have a rival for her affections, and a jealous one at that.
Jealous? How do you mean?
Isn't it obvious? The man who attacked you in the churchyard is your rival. It appears that you're facing some serious competition for Christine's affections.
Well, what difference does it make? Christine's asked me never to see her again.
She's only trying to protect you, Raoul, which proves that she cares for you.
Well, maybe you're onto something. Christine seemed genuinely happy to see me. And she did invite me there in the first place. But what about the attacker?
What about him? You're a lieutenant in the Marine Nationale, aren't you? Well, teach them both not to underestimate a Shawnee, and don't take no for an answer. Trust me, Raoul, this is exactly the sort of intrigue you need. Now, when can you see Christine next?
She's singing in Faust tonight at the opera.
Good. Meet with her backstage after the performance. Just keep an eye out for your mystery assailant, and everything should be fine.
You're right, Philippe. I'll be ready for him this time. Well, guess who's still writing to us, even after we dismissed Madame Giry? Oh no, the opera ghost again?
Yes. Let's see what he wants now. My dear managers, so it's war between us. If you still care for peace, here is my ultimatum. It consists of the 4 following conditions. 1. You must give me back box 5 and leave it unsold from now on. 2. The part of Marguerite shall be sung this evening by Christine Daae. Never mind about Carlotta. She will be ill. 3. I absolutely insist that you reinstate Madame Giry, my loyal box keeper. 4. You will send me a letter in care of Madame Giry confirming that you will pay my monthly allowance. I will inform you later as to how the payment will be made. If you refuse any of these conditions, the performance of Faust tonight is doomed. Take my advice. And be warned. The opera ghost.
Richard, these letters are getting too pushy and too threatening to be a joke. I don't think this is a prank from the old managers.
I don't care who it's from. Whoever's sending these letters has gone too far. Lunatic demands? Direct threats? I am sick and tired of being pushed around.
Good day, messieurs.
What are you doing here? I thought you'd been discharged.
I beg your pardon, but I had a letter this morning from the opera ghost saying otherwise.
Is that so?
Richard?
He said that you had something to give me? Oh! Never in my life, never have I been treated in such a fashion. Oh, the scoundrels, the scoundrels!
You shouldn't have done that, Richard. What if she files a complaint?
With whom? Her opera ghost?
She just might. And don't forget, he's already threatened tonight's performance.
All he's done so far is heckle. I'm not impressed. Besides, he wouldn't dare ruin an entire performance. How would we pay his precious salary?
Richard, we don't even know who we're dealing with. I think it's time to start taking this seriously.
All right, fine. If it makes you feel better, we will take this seriously. And our first order of business will be to investigate this little matter of Box 5 personally. Let's watch the performance from there tonight. If the opera ghost tries anything, it should be the perfect place to catch him in the act.
Carlotta, what's the matter?
I've received insulting letters before, but no one has ever dared to threaten me. Well, I am not a woman to be intimidated.
Carlotta, please, what are you talking about?
Just listen to this. Dear Madame, you have a bad cold. If you are wise, you will see that it is madness to sing in Faust tonight. Mademoiselle Daae will be singing in your place. Should you choose to appear as Marguerite, be prepared for a great calamity, a misfortune worse than death.
That's terrible. Who would write such a thing?
Exactly what I want to know. Do you recognize this handwriting?
No, I can't say that I do.
You must have some idea who it's from. The Vicomte de Cheny, perhaps.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Come now, I've seen him following you backstage. And I know all about your little weekend in the countryside.
No, it wasn't like that.
A friend of mine heard it directly from de Cheny's brother. And now your Vicomte's trying to influence the managers on your behalf. Don't play coy. We both know how this game is played.
Listen, I'm sorry that someone is doing this to you, but I swear that it's being done without my knowledge or approval.
Oh, and I suppose this doesn't benefit you at all.
I'm telling you I had no part in this.
Fine then. But whoever's behind this, they better know that I can't be intimidated by threats.
I understand. Good day, Carlotta.
Humph!
Madame, what's going to happen?
Daae said she doesn't know anything, but it doesn't matter. Whoever wrote this letter, they're going to be disappointed, because I am singing tonight. Calamity and misfortune indeed.
Oh, Madame, perhaps you should not go after all.
Maria, I would sing tonight were I dying.
You must humbly confess my love express.
Well, Mon Chairman, any sign of doom yet?
Nothing, Richard, and it's already Act 3.
Yes, it would seem that our opera ghost is late. Still, keep an eye out for any trouble.
I know, Richard. Is there anything specific we should look for?
I have no idea, Mon Chairman. Just keep an eye out, will you?
Of course.
By the way, do you see that shabby-looking woman sitting near the center?
You mean the woman in green? Yes, I believe so. Who is she?
That's my new boxkeeper. She'd never been to the opera, so I gave her a ticket. I wanted her to enjoy a good seat before she spends her time showing other people to theirs.
She looks severe. Can she be trusted?
Certainly. There's no nonsense about her.
I don't doubt it. But why make her the new boxkeeper?
Don't you see, Mon Chairman? If the opera ghost tries to involve her in his nonsense, she'll never go along with it. This is the first step towards solving our Box 5 problem once and for all.
She's no Madame Giry, that's for sure.
You can say that again. Now come, let's enjoy the opera.
Let's complete my transformation. This bracelet here and this necklace.
Is that the best you can do, Mr. Toad? I do not scare so easily.
I just knew we were in for trouble. This is even worse than last evening's heckling.
Shh! If the opera ghost is doing this, then he must be close by. Look for him.
Poor Carlotta. This is awful.
Poor us. The opera ghost is going to ruin the performance. People will want their money back.
Richard, where is the croaking coming from? Is someone throwing their voice?
I don't know. I didn't expect this.
But you should have expected it. Clearly, you failed to take my warning seriously.
Who's there?
Whoever you are, make this stop, and we'll listen to your demands.
I know you will. But first, a lesson must be learned. See what it means to defy me.
Hello? Where'd he go?
Richard, the chandelier!
No!
Monsieur Richard, how did you feel when you discovered that your new boxkeeper died on the very first night of her duties?
Well, she hadn't actually begun her duties yet.
Hold your tongue, Mon Chairman. I felt terrible. What kind of stupid question is that? I've already sent my condolences to her family.
Monsieur Mon Chairman, don't you find it odd that your new boxkeeper was the only victim of the disaster?
Monsieur, I would call it tragic, but not odd.
Yes, but your previous box keeper was dismissed unexpectedly. That is a little strange, don't you think?
What are you driving at, anyway? The previous box keeper was dismissed on perfectly valid grounds, and what happened the other night was an accident.
Messieurs, Richard makes a good point. As you're doubtlessly aware, the inquest pointed to an accidental death, caused by wear and tear on the chandelier's chains.
But isn't it your duty to ensure that the opera's equipment is in good repair?
Of course it is, and we've already begun questioning the maintenance staff.
Yes, but I heard that Monsieur Richard...
That's enough. Both of you, get out! Out!
The public has a right to know.
You have your facts. Take them or leave them.
Another great moment in diplomacy, Richard?
Oh, don't you start. We both know why this happened, no matter what the inquest says. If the press...
Can we do something for you, Monsieur le Vicomte?
What? Oh, good morning. I didn't notice. Oh, never mind. Good morning. And what can we do for you on this fine day? It's about Mademoiselle Daae. I haven't been able to find her since the accident. She wasn't hurt, if that's what you're worried about. I'm relieved to hear that, but I've been asking everywhere, and no one seems to know where she is. Please, if you could give me any information. We don't know where she is exactly. She's taken some personal time. At our expense. Richard! As I was saying, her guardian, Madame Valerius, assured us that she's all right. That's all we know right now. I'm sure you can appreciate they were up to our necks in this disaster. If you want to know more, why not ask Madame Valerius? Thank you, I will. Now, if you'll excuse us, Monsieur le Vicomte, we have some pressing business to attend to. Yes, of course. Good day. Honestly, mon chairman, this day is just getting better and better.
Good day, messieurs.
Case in point. What do you want?
I have a letter for you.
Of course you do. Well, let's have it then. Much appreciated. Is that all?
I just wanted you to know how honored I am to find myself once more under your gracious employment.
We've been given little choice in the matter, I assure you. But if you ask me...
Thank you, Madame Giry. You may go.
Yes, messieurs.
Oh, I suppose we'd better get this over with. Let's see what our beloved opera ghost has to say now. Dear managers, I trust that this disaster has made your situation clear. The time has come to pay my salary. Please put 20 banknotes of 1,000 francs each into the enclosed envelope. Seal it, and then hand it to Madame Giry, who will ensure that it reaches me. I expect to receive it by tomorrow night, if it's not an inconvenience. And no, don't alert the police, unless you wish for more harm to come upon the Opera House. Warmest regards. The Opera Ghost.
Richard, we must face the facts. This is no prank. Whoever he is, this opera ghost means business.
You're right, of course. The old managers must have been telling the truth all along. Unfortunately, that also means we're stuck dealing with their madman.
Yes, a madman who wants 20,000 francs. Maybe we should tell the police anyway.
No, the opera ghost specifically warned us not to do that. Do you want another disaster?
Richard, I'm surprised at you. Are we really just giving up then?
Did I say we were giving up? No, mon chairman. I may have been wrong about the prank, but I know this much. A ghost wouldn't extort money, or bully people with gloating letters. Mark my words. There's a flesh and blood man behind all of this, and men can be caught.
What are you saying? Do you have a plan to catch the opera ghost?
I just might. He wants his salary, does he? Well, I say we give it to him. That money has to reach our esteemed opera ghost somehow, and we can follow it right back to him. And once we have him, I will gladly turn things over to the police. There, 20,000 francs.
I hope you know what you're doing.
Good evening, messieurs. You sent for me?
Yes, madam. See that this envelope reaches our good monsieur opera ghost.
Of course, messieurs. I know what to do.
Nothing. In vain I have questioned in my staunch endeavor, neither nature nor creator have ever slipped into my ear a voice.
She's gone. You've kept your eyes on that envelope, right? I haven't lost sight of it for a second.
Good. Now we just wait for our clever friend to claim it.
You must humbly confess, my love express. Blooming flowers go from me, till I thought she is
Alright, enough of this.
Richard?
It looks like the opera ghost isn't falling for our trap after all. And I'm not about to leave our money here overnight.
At least we get our money back.
What?
What is it, Richard?
This isn't our money. These are counterfeit notes.
But that's impossible. Nobody touched that envelope all night.
Madame Giry. It must have been her. Somehow she switched banknotes on us.
No, that doesn't make sense. We would have seen her doing it.
That's true. Ugh. The opera ghost has done something clever here, but I can't understand how he managed it.
Well, now what do we do? We've just lost 20,000 francs.
Leave that to me. Next time we'll try something more direct.
Yes, monsieur. If you're here to see Mademoiselle Daae again, she's not available.
Actually, I was hoping to see Madame Valerius. Would you please tell her that Monsieur le Vicomte Raoul de Chagny is here?
Oh, right away, Monsieur le Vicomte. Monsieur le Vicomte, Madame Valerius will see you now.
You must excuse me for receiving you at my bedside, but I can no longer stand on my poor legs.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Madame Valerius. I must thank you once again for seeing me.
Well, a visit from the young Vicomte de Chagny is not to be missed. Now do sit down. It's been too long since that summer we were all together.
I remember it fondly.
Ah, Raoul, what a fine young man you've become. And thank you for accompanying Christine to Perros-Guirec. I wish I could have gone myself.
Madame Valerius, where is Christine right now? The managers at the opera house said you might know.
Yes, I do. She's away with her singing instructor.
Singing instructor?
Yes, I received a letter from him. It said that Christine would be away for several days, but not to worry. I can read between the lines, though. If you ask me, this whole arrangement will end in marriage.
Marriage?
Yes, indeed. His letter was very formal, but I can tell he's fond of Christine. He's been teaching her for 3 months, you know.
But this is... Christine told me she was receiving lessons from an angel of music.
Oh, yes, I have heard her call him that. I thought the name was a little grandiose, but that's young love for you.
Indeed. Forgive me, madam, but I really must take my leave. Good day.
But Raoul, do call again. Oh dear, Sylvie, perhaps I've said too much.
Unbelievable. I've never felt so ridiculous in my life.
Raoul, what's happened?
Christine does have an admirer, Philippe. He's all but proposed to her. While I've been worried sick about her disappearance, she's been off gallivanting with him. Madame Valerius is certain they'll end up married.
What? Married?
That's right. Apparently this has been going on for 3 months. I still can't believe it. All that effort, and I never stood a chance.
Raoul, I'm sorry this happened, but it's not your fault. We had every reason to believe she was encouraging you.
That's what bothers me the most, Philippe. If she was so intent on her singing instructor, then why didn't she just say so from the start? I would have respected that. Instead, I spent most of my shore leave chasing after her. What a complete waste of time.
Raoul, no woman is worth this much trouble. Girls are supposed to be fun.
It seems like the fun was at my expense. If Christine thinks...
Forget Christine Daae. I'm sorry I ever encouraged that relationship. We need to get her off your mind. And I know just the thing that will help.
Whatever it is, I'm really not in the mood right now. Let's just pick this up tomorrow morning.
Oh, no you don't. Listen, there's no use fretting over some harpy when you have the entire city at your feet. And it just so happens that the masked ball is tonight. Come on, you'll be kicking yourself later if you miss it.
Well, maybe you're right.
Of course I am. Why, half of Paris will be there. High society, beautiful girls. Maybe you'll meet someone you like.
Okay, we'll go. Let's make the rest of my shore leave count.
That's the spirit.
Raoul, is that you?
Christine?
Oh, it is you, thank goodness. I've been looking everywhere. I'm in serious trouble and I need your help.
Why don't you ask your fiancé for help?
My fiancé?
Yes, your singing instructor. Why, from what Madame Valerius said...
Oh, he's an imposter, Raoul, just like you said.
Christine, after everything that's happened...
Oh, if you only knew what I've been through this past week.
What was that?
Don't let her get me!
Beware! I am the Red Death, stalking abroad. Darkness and decay everywhere. Beware!
What a cad! He's gonna ruin the masked ball for everybody.
That's him! The man dressed as Red Death. He's the imposter.
What? That's the man behind all this?
The Red Death holds infinite dominion over all.
Raoul, he can't see us together.
But shouldn't we...
Please trust me this once. Come with me and I'll explain everything.
Alright then, let's go.
We'll be safe up here.
Yes. Now, would you please tell me what's going on?
You must think that I've been very gullible.
Well... That's really not important right now.
Please understand, Raoul. I'd been expecting the angel of music that my father promised. I guess that made me easy to fool. I believed everything the angel told me. And he was a friend to me, Raoul. At least, at first.
At first? What changed?
Remember when you visited me after the opera and you overheard the angel talking to me? He was warning me that if I ever married, he would return to heaven and I would never hear him again.
He was actually jealous? Some angel.
When I heard his selfish point of view, I should have known something was wrong. But I still thought that my father had sent him, so I assured him that you and I were only friends.
I see. Is that why you were avoiding me?
Yes, but he was still suspicious. When I went to visit my father's grave, he suggested that I invite you along, with the condition that he'd be watching to see what happened.
I wish I'd known. It's no wonder our conversation was so awkward.
It must have been so confusing for you. I'm terribly sorry about that. When you said you were fond of me, I wanted to tell you how I really felt. Because I do care for you, Raoul. But I'd become frightened of him, and I knew he was listening.
I'm afraid the brute attacked me anyway.
I know. When the innkeeper found you unconscious, I realized just how dangerous the angel had become. I was scared and I didn't know what else to do, so I warned you to stay away from me, for your own safety.
But Mama Valerius told me you're still taking music lessons from this imposter. If you know he's dangerous, then why aren't you avoiding him?
If only it had been that easy. Everything changed the night the chandelier fell.
Oh no!
I was backstage when it happened. It scared me half to death. I ran as fast as I could to my dressing room. It's so horrible. What? Where's that music coming from?
Come, Christine.
Hello?
Don't be afraid.
Angel of music?
Please, come.
Hello? What? No! Help! I must have fainted from those strange fumes. When I woke up the next day, I met the so-called angel face to face. Who are you? Where am I?
Don't be afraid, Christine. You're in no danger.
That voice! No, it can't be. You're the angel of music? But you're not.
No, Christine. I'm not an angel. I am Eric.
So my father never sent me an angel at all. Everything you told me was a lie. How could you do such a heartless thing?
Christine, please don't cry. Yes, I lied to you, but I meant no harm. In time, I hope you will forgive me.
You lied to me, and then you abducted me. How can I forgive you for that?
You will forgive me once you understand. I did what I had to do.
Eric, I want to go home. Let me out or I'll scream for the police.
Would you really do that?
Yes, I would.
Well, we can't have that. The exit's just behind me. Go ahead.
You're really just letting me go?
Yes, of course. Please, give my regards to the police.
Okay, I'm going then. What? What is this place? Eric, where are we?
Oh dear, the expression on your face was simply priceless. We are underground, Christine. 5 stories beneath the opera house.
Beneath the opera house?
Oh yes, I'm quite proud of my little palace underground. I must warn you though, if a person got lost down here, they might never find their way out. Only a fool would try to wander these tunnels without a guide. Have I made myself clear?
Yes, perfectly clear.
Christine? My dear Christine, I said I meant you no harm, and that's the truth. I haven't brought you all this way for nothing, you know.
But then, what?
I promise to explain everything after we've had something to eat. Shall I show you to your room?
My room?
Of course, right this way. This room has been specially prepared for your stay here. I give you my word, I will never encroach upon it. Now, breakfast will be served in half an hour. It will be just down that hallway, in the dining room. I'll explain everything then. Please don't be late.
Yes, Eric. I'll be ready.
I hope that everything is to your liking. I always stock the best food that money can buy. Rest assured, you'll want for nothing here.
And why am I here, Eric?
Have you really not guessed? After all of our singing lessons together.
After everything that's happened, I really don't know what to think.
Well, then let me make matters plain. Christine, your voice is far too good to be wasted in the chorus. I intend to train you as the opera's new prima donna.
That's very kind of you, Eric, but the opera already has Carlotta.
All in good time, Christine. For now, we must focus on your training. The next 5 days will be devoted exclusively to music.
5 days? But if I stay here, Mama Valerius will worry about me.
Oh, I have already looked after that. I wrote a letter to your guardian. She knows you are safe with your angel of music.
Am I actually safe? You're a perfect stranger to me, Eric. I don't know anything about you.
Well then, we must become acquainted. Come, ask me anything.
Why do you always wear a mask? You want me to trust you, but how can I when I've never even seen your face?
You will never see my face. But please, let's not dwell on that. What else would you like to know?
Well, what can you tell me about your birthplace and your family?
Ah, yes. I was born here in France, in the town of Rouen. My father was a wealthy master mason, but he died before I was born. My mother did her best to raise me alone, and through private instructors, I was given the best education possible. Like my father before me, I excelled in masonry and architecture, but my true passion was music. I became proficient as a pianist and violinist.
Is that why you came to live at the opera house?
Listen, and I'll come to that. Eventually, I left home to become a traveling performer. From the other artists, I learned such things as escapism and sleight of hand. I built quite the reputation for myself, and toured most of Europe with my act. It was then that I came to...
Yes?
Well, what with one thing and another, I grew weary of travel and decided to live a more ordinary life. I settled in Paris and became a contractor. I worked on the foundations of this very opera house, secretly building this home for my own use. Over the years, I've furnished this place with anything I wanted, including a pipe organ, which I salvaged from an old church.
That's extraordinary.
It is, isn't it? Now, why don't we put it to good use? Come, it's time we rehearsed for your upcoming debut as Marguerite. We shall practice here. The organ will substitute for the orchestra.
What's this? Don Juan Triumphant?
Yes, I compose sometimes. I began that work 20 years ago.
20 years ago? It must be very difficult.
Well, it's my masterpiece, but it's still far from complete. Now, let us sing something from Faust. Let's begin with the duet from Act 3. Let me contemplate your face. Would you please sing Marguerite's part for me?
Dreaming I drift apart, I hear and understand. It's your voice, O love, which sings within my heart.
Good, that's good. You have a natural understanding of tempo, Christine. We can work with that. Now, let's start the duet from the beginning. I'll sing the part of Faust. Let my eyes contemplate your lovely face. Let my eyes contemplate... Ah! You! How dare you! Not so fast!
Eric, please!
You wanted to see me? Then see! See how hideous and deformed I am? Why do you think I wear a mask?
No, no!
Did you expect me to be handsome?
Please let me go! Eric, I'm so sorry!
Sorry? What good is sorry? You'll never come back to me now. Maybe I'll just keep you here forever. Oh, Christine, why did you want to see me? My own mother couldn't stand the sight of me. I was always kept out of sight. That's why I ran away.
What am I going to do? Eric? Eric, I'm sorry for what I did. It was very wrong. But please, can't we put that behind us? Show me your face. I'll try. I promise I won't be afraid. Eric, you must be very unhappy, but your music is wonderful. In your own way, you are the angel of music. Will you still teach me?
Oh, Christine, do you really mean it?
Yes.
Then of course I'll teach you. I'll do anything for you, as long as you stay here.
But why would you go along with that?
What else could I do? I didn't know the way out of the cellars, and Eric would only let me leave if he thought I'd come back. So I pretended that I wasn't afraid of him, even when he left off wearing his mask.
That sounds like a nightmare.
I didn't see any way out. Even after a week of my best behavior, Eric never mentioned setting me free like he'd originally promised. I was beginning to lose hope, until one morning.
An intruder? Who in the world? Darius! What an unexpected surprise!
I'm glad your doors were still open to me, Eric.
Well, that remains to be seen.
That's very guarded of you. What do you mean by it?
Exactly what I meant. Have a seat, state your business, and then we shall see whether you're welcome.
Have it your way, Eric.
So, old friend, what brings you here?
I've retired from the royal court this year. You always spoke highly of Paris, and so I decided to settle here.
I'm flattered that you took my recommendation. But what I meant was, what brings you down here to my home? How did you even find it?
It wasn't long before I heard rumors around this opera house. The incidents in Box 5 and so forth.
You can't believe everything you hear, I'm afraid.
Oh, really? I did some digging, which led me to a very informative interview with Monsieur Pellini. The methods of the opera ghost he described fit you perfectly, so I conducted a private investigation of the opera house cellars. Sure enough, I discovered your trapdoors, secret passages, and the like.
Only because you knew what to look for.
Naturally. It was only a matter of time before I saw you, and discreetly followed you to the edge of the water. There was some delay in getting another boat down here without attracting attention, but here I am. Speaking of which, you opened your door before I even knocked. How did you know I was coming?
Obviously, you didn't remember all of my tricks.
Wait, a tripwire? You have a tripwire underwater, don't you? It warned you when I was getting close.
Well played indeed, Darius. The royal court must sorely miss your abilities.
Perhaps, but I do not miss the royal court. Their methods were secretive and cruel. Wouldn't you agree, Eric?
You know how I feel about them. I prefer to forget the old days.
Indeed. So tell me, opera ghost, why have you introduced that same atmosphere to this unsuspecting opera house?
Come now. This is nothing like the royal court.
Isn't it? Stealing money, terrorizing the staff and patrons, and I have my suspicions about the chandelier.
The chandelier was very old and worn, Darius. It fell all by itself.
For your sake, I hope that you're telling the truth. Let's get to the point, Eric. You swore to turn your life around, and I'm not convinced that you have. In case you've forgotten, I'm responsible for you.
Why? Because you saved my life once? That doesn't mean you can just come down here and tell me what to do. So, if you're finished...
There is another matter.
What is it?
I've come to take Mademoiselle Christine Daae home. Where is she?
Christine Daae? Who's that?
Don't take me so lightly, Eric. I'm not Monsieur Richard.
Apparently.
I know that Mademoiselle Daae is here.
And what if she is? You're so untrusting, Darius. I've been a perfect gentleman. Christine is here to train for the opera's lead role, and nothing more. Besides, Christine is here because she wishes it.
That's ridiculous. You've abducted her and made her your prisoner.
I tell you, she stays of her own free will. If I can prove that to you, will you leave us alone?
Yes, I suppose I will. But I'll only believe it if you allow her to leave your house and she returns voluntarily.
Very well. That's simple enough. Christine and I will attend the masked ball tomorrow night. Afterwards, Christine can return home to her guardian. The following evening, I shall invite her here to have dinner with me after the opera. And she will gladly come. You'll see.
Oh, I doubt that she will. But in any case, it is your duty to let her go.
My duty? It is my wish to let her go, because I love her. And Christine will come back again, because she loves me.
Eric, listen to me. You can't just...
I've listened enough already. I don't want you here or anyone else. Now, get out of here and don't come back. Impertinence.
Good morning, Eric.
Oh, good morning, Christine. I'm glad you're awake, because I have some wonderful news. I've decided that you shall accompany me to the masked ball tomorrow night.
Thank you, Eric. I'm glad I won't have to miss it. I didn't realize the masked ball would interest you.
My dear Christine, I never miss it. Just imagine the high society of Paris everywhere you look, and all of them in disguise. It's the one time of year when I can mingle in such company with impunity. How could a man like myself pass it up?
I suppose that makes sense. Well then, we'll have to go out today to purchase our costumes.
I'll attend to that myself. While I'm gone, you will stay here and practice your singing.
Yes, Eric.
Oh, that reminds me. I've decided that after the masked ball, you may return home to Mamma Valerius.
You mean it? Oh, Eric, thank you. I've missed her terribly.
Well, you've worked very hard this past week. I believe you've earned it. Just be sure to get plenty of rest, Christine, because your debut as Marguerite will take place the following evening.
You really think I'm ready?
Undoubtedly. Your lessons with me have paid off magnificently. Trust me, you'll have your rightful place, singing the lead. And afterwards, I hope you will join me here for a celebratory supper. You will come, won't you?
What did you do?
I told him I'd be happy to come for supper. What else could I say?
I understand, Christine. I'm just glad that Eric let you leave.
Yes, but only because he has something to prove to Darius. What happens after that? If I go back to Eric, he may never set me free again.
Well, we can't have that.
I'm so frightened, Raoul. What am I going to do? He's in love with me, and he thinks that I'm in love with him.
I'll help you escape from him. I'll take you somewhere outside of Paris where he won't find you.
It has to be soon. Eric expects me back after tomorrow's performance.
Then we'll leave right after your performance.
Do you really think it will be safe?
Yes. If Eric tries to capture you before the performance, he'll prove that Darius was right. He has to know that. His only choice is to wait for you at his house. By the time he realizes you aren't coming, we'll be far away.
Oh, I hope so.
Just leave it to me. And once you're safely out of Paris, I'll tell the police where to find Eric. He'll never bother you again.
Thank you, Raoul. Oh, forgive me. I'm just so grateful. I wouldn't blame you after all that's happened. I'd be lucky to have you as a friend.
Christine, when I said I was fond of you, I meant it. I wasn't sure if you cared for me then, but now...
Do you still doubt it?
Well, shall we go?
Won't you tell us, La Carlotta? For the record, are you really leaving the stage for good?
Oh no, those are merely rumors. I'll admit I was shaken up by that horrible chandelier crash, but I'm still returning to work as soon as possible.
Besides, the inquest proved it was just an accident.
But what about the disruptions? You know, the croaking noises.
I didn't work my way up from the Café Jacquin by giving in to such childish pranks. There will always be critics, after all.
Raoul, wait.
What's the matter?
What about Mama Valerius? She might not be safe while I'm away.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that.
Anyway.
Shh!
If she can't travel, that could be a problem.
Well, it's an emergency, so I can probably convince her to come with us.
Are you sure?
She won't like it, but yes, I'll just have to explain things carefully.
Okay then. I'll have my carriage on standby for you. Just be ready and don't pack too much for the trip.
We'll manage. And you're sure he won't suspect anything until then?
I'm as sure as I can be. Now, please, let me take you home.
Interesting.
You can say that again. The Vicomte de Chagny. And that was Christine Daae, wasn't it? I wasn't aware they were on those terms.
Oh, everyone knows it. I heard it from a friend of mine.
Ha! And it sounds like they're planning to elope. He won't suspect anything, she said. Now who could that be?
Perhaps they're afraid of his brother, the Comte.
Yes, of course. He would never approve of them marrying.
Haha, this is fantastic! I'll have an exclusive for my society column tomorrow morning. Nothing sells like a scandal.
Oh, I know. Why, I remember. Hey! Whew, reporters.
Eric! Come in.
Begging your pardon, Monsieur le Vicomte. There is a foreign gentleman at the door, wanting to see you.
Was he wearing a black cloak?
No, monsieur. He gave his name as Monsieur Darius, and he said it was urgent.
Darius? I wonder... Yes, please show him into the sitting room. Tell him I'll meet him there shortly.
Very well, Monsieur le Vicomte.
Good evening, Darius. I am the Vicomte de Chagny.
Monsieur de Chagny, I'll come straight to the point. I believe you're in danger.
I believe you. Eric tried to strangle me in my room just minutes ago.
What? Monsieur de Chagny, my sincerest apologies. I thought there might be some sort of trouble coming, but I never dreamed Eric would attack so soon. Well, thank goodness you're still alive. And apparently, you already know about Eric.
Yes, Christine told me all about him. She also overheard a conversation between Eric and a man named Darius. Was that you?
Indeed it was. You are better informed than I expected, Monsieur de Cheny.
Perhaps, but clearly I'm still in over my head. Please, have a seat. What can you tell me about Eric?
I'm afraid we go back a long ways. Eric started out as a traveling performer, making a name for himself across Europe. I was commissioned to bring him to the royal court for the Sultana's entertainment. The Sultana, unfortunately, was not amused by Eric's conjuring tricks. She scoffed at Eric's act and dismissed him with only half of the sum he'd been promised. That should have been the end of it, but Eric was furious with the way he'd been treated. Later that night, Eric was caught stealing from the royal treasury. The Sultana condemned him to death, of course, but in the royal court, this meant more than a simple execution. Condemned men like Eric were pitted against each other in the arena to fight to the death. Day after day, the Sultana would watch Eric's struggles in the arena. I'll spare you the details of those barbaric events. Even now it turns my stomach to think of them. The point is, Eric proved very difficult to kill. He developed incredible skill with the lasso. Ironically, Eric's brutal talents impressed the Sultana far more than his conjuring tricks. The Sultana pardoned Eric and commissioned him to design a torture chamber of mirrors and illusions. Hardened by his struggles in the arena, Eric didn't even hesitate to comply. Once that project was finished, Eric suggested a new venture, filling the Sultana's palace with hidden passages and trapdoors. This latest suggestion thrilled the Sultana, and she demanded that Eric begin at once. In my heart, I think I knew what was coming, but I didn't dare speak up. We were all terrified of the Sultana and her cruel whims. Sure enough, when Eric's task was nearing completion, the Sultana took me aside. She wanted me to kill Eric that very night, so that nobody else would know her palace's secrets. The Sultana's request came as no surprise, and yet the very thought of it disgusted me. It's true, Eric had committed many atrocities by now, but in my mind he was young and afraid. I couldn't bring myself to condemn this man who was trying to survive in such a poisonous environment, especially when I was the one who had brought him into it. I felt responsible for the twist that Eric's fate had taken. In a way, I suppose I still do. And so, for the very first time, I disobeyed the Sultana. I helped Eric to flee from the palace. That was the easy part, because no one expected me to disobey. To cover my tracks, I planted evidence which convinced the Sultana that Eric had died at sea while trying to escape. Of course, the Sultana was still furious that Eric had escaped from my custody. I came pretty close to a death sentence myself. In the end, though, I was pardoned, and my life, such as it was, returned to normal. That was the last I heard of Eric for a long, long time. Eventually, I retired from the royal court and traveled to Paris.
Why Paris?
Because it's very far from the royal court. Also, I recalled that Eric spoke highly of Paris. I suppose I was hoping to cross paths with him and find a reformed man.
And instead you found the opera ghost.
Indeed. You can only imagine my disappointment. I tried to confront him about his recent crimes, but it was no use. He refused to listen. So much for reforming Eric. Perhaps saving him was just another mistake. In any event, a critical moment is approaching. It would be best to coordinate our efforts. What are your plans, monsieur?
I was going to escort Christine somewhere safe after tomorrow evening's performance, but now I'm not so sure. Maybe we should leave at once.
I'm afraid that won't be enough.
Eric has become obsessed. Wherever you take Christine, he'll find a way to follow.
Then what can we do?
Let me think a moment. Yes, surely he will stay put until then. Very well. Proceed with your plan, and leave with Mademoiselle Daae after her performance tomorrow night.
How does that help us?
Eric isn't aware of your plans yet. As such, he'll be waiting at his home for Christine to return. Eventually, he will tire of waiting and leave his house to begin searching. I'll ambush him then.
And then? What will you do?
Whatever is necessary to stop him.
Very well. Then I'll leave Eric to you. Thank you for everything.
Rest well, Monsieur de Cheny. Tomorrow will be a busy day.
Thank you, Sylvie. You may go.
Yes, madame.
Good gracious, the news is so depressing these days.
Mama, there's something I need to talk to you about.
Of course, dear. Just let me finish the society section. Why, Christine, there's an entry about you.
That's odd.
Christine, is this true?
Is what true? Please, Mama, let me read it. The latest news in Paris is that there is an engagement between Monsieur le Vicomte Raoul de Cheny and Mademoiselle Christine Daae, the opera singer. However, the match is strongly opposed by the Vicomte's brother, Comte Philippe de Cheny. The two brothers are said to be close, but the Comte is curiously mistaken if he imagines that brotherly love will triumph over love pure and simple. If the local gossip is true, then an elopement is imminent. I can't explain it.
Christine, are you eloping with Raoul? What about your singing instructor? I thought you two had an understanding.
No, Mama, it was never like that between us. He's just my teacher.
That's all? I was so sure. Well, then what about your singing career? Are you going to leave the opera after all your hard work?
Mama, I was going to tell you. There really is an understanding between Raoul and myself. But we're not eloping. He's just taking me somewhere safe, and I want you to come with us.
Somewhere safe?
Yes, we're heading to the countryside. I know you weren't able to travel before, but... Well, you've seen how the paper has blown everything out of proportion. We really just need to get away from things for a while.
Oh, but will we be gone for very long?
Not at all, Mama. We'll only stay until the scandal dies down, and then we can come home.
Well, I suppose some country air would do me good.
Oh, thank you, Mama. I'll go with you and Sylvie as far as the train station, and Sylvie will be with you the rest of the way. I still have obligations at the opera this evening, so Raoul and I won't be there until late this evening.
All right, Christine, I trust you.
Philippe, you sent for me?
Raoul, are you eloping with Christine?
What? Of course not.
I knew it. Those society columnists are a lying pack of weasels.
Philippe, what are you talking about?
I just finished reading this morning's society section. It said that you and Christine were going to elope.
How could that have gotten into the paper?
Exactly what I want to know. It's an outrage. We both know that there's nothing between you and Christine anymore.
Philippe, the fact is, I saw Christine at the masked ball last night. We talked things over, and it turns out that she isn't engaged. In fact, I guess you could say there's an understanding between us. We're not eloping, though. That's completely untrue.
Well, I suppose that explains the society column. Someone obviously saw you two together and jumped to the wrong conclusion. Lying weasels. Anyway, The important thing is that your charms carried the day after all. Personally, I think you let her off too easy, but what does it matter?
So, you're not angry with me?
Of course not, Raoul. I should have known that the society column was distorting things. I suppose I'd forgotten what it's like. It's been years since they wrote anything about myself and Sorelli. At any rate, go enjoy yourself, Raoul. And congratulations on your first conquest.
My first conquest? Why would I need any others?
Oh, Raoul! Surely you understand that you're still years away from settling down.
What? Then why in blazes did you push me toward Christine in the first place?
Haven't you been paying attention? The conquest is the whole point.
I don't feel that way, and neither does Christine.
Come to your senses, Raoul. A low-born singer could never be the wife of a Cheney.
And why not?
What?
If she's a respectable girl and I love her, then why not?
Listen, Raoul. You're a vicomte, just like I'm a comte. If you marry a performing girl, it will disgrace the entire family.
That's ridiculous. How could marrying Christine be any more disgraceful than the way you carry on with Sorelli?
Because Sorelli understands what society expects of her. If a casual relationship with Christine isn't enough for you, then you need to break it off immediately.
I will not. Christine deserves a chance, even if high society doesn't see it that way.
I'm the head of our family, Raoul. I practically raised you and your sisters. And now that you've met one girl, you think you know everything?
I don't know everything, Philippe. But I can't end up like you. I'm sorry.
Raoul, get back here. Don't throw away your prospects. You haven't heard the last of this.
Dear managers, I appreciate your cooperation in finally paying my salary for last month. Unfortunately, due to your previous delays, this month's salary is already nearly due. Please put 20,000 francs into an envelope and hand it to our excellent Madame Giry. Going forward, I trust that my instructions will be followed promptly.
Another 20,000 francs, Richard. What are we going to do?
Wait, there's more.
More?
Yes, it also says that Christine Daae must sing as Marguerite tonight.
Of course it does. So, do we let Mademoiselle Daae sing then?
For this performance, yes. But don't worry, mon chairman. This will all be over after tonight.
Another brilliant plan? Your last one was rather expensive for us.
Last time, we didn't know what we were up against.
We still don't know. We have absolutely no idea how the opera ghost took our money last time.
Perhaps not, but we can soon find out. Remy, would you please show in Madame Giry on your way out?
Yes, Monsieur Richard.
I've been waiting all morning for this.
Good morning, messieurs. It's about the envelope, I suppose.
Yes, we'll come to that presently. Close the door, mon chairman.
What's the meaning of this?
Madame Giry. I assume you're still on good terms with the opera ghost, carrying out his orders and collecting his gratuities?
Certainly, Monsieur Richard. Why do you ask?
Simply put, madam, your friendship with this person has put you in a rather delicate position.
I beg your pardon?
Tell us plainly, Madame Giry, why have you placed yourself at the opera ghost's beck and call?
Why, messieurs, I assure you that my motives are quite honourable. In return for my services, the opera ghost has promised to help my daughter Meg's career in the corps de ballet.
Has he actually helped her?
Why, yes. He spoke with the managers, and the very next day Meg was promoted to coryphée.
I think I see how this works.
And one day she will be the prima ballerina. Fate is smiling upon my little Meg.
Madame Giry, the fate you should be concerned with is your own.
I don't understand you.
This is the envelope that we were supposed to give you today. Would you like to know what's inside it? And indeed, what's been inside all such envelopes?
It's none of my business.
Let's take a look anyway.
1,000-franc notes!
Yes! As a matter of fact, Madame Giry, every envelope you've ever handled carried 20,000 francs. I trust your position is clearer now.
But, monsieur, I swear that I didn't know.
I'm afraid that's beside the point. You've been helping the Opera Ghost all along, and that makes you a thief.
How dare you? I've been an honest woman all my life. In any case, Monsieur Richard, you would know better than I where the money went.
Oh, really? And why should I know that?
Because the envelope went into your pocket.
How dare you?
Steady, Richard.
How dare she accuse me of pocketing the Opera Ghost's money?
You mean our money?
Yes, whatever. The point is I didn't take it.
You don't understand. The envelope went into his pocket because the Opera Ghost told me to put it there. Monsieur Richard knew nothing about it.
I should say not.
Wait a moment. That doesn't make sense. You didn't put the envelope into anyone's pocket. We watched you leave it in box 5.
Ah, but that was the Opera Ghost's secret. There were actually 2 envelopes in play. When you gave me your envelope, I immediately hid it up my sleeve. The Opera Ghost always gives me an identical-looking envelope, and that was the one I left in box 5.
Unbelievable! So we were watching a decoy envelope the whole time.
If you say so, monsieur. I never looked inside them. Later on, when I had the chance, I slipped your original envelope into Monsieur Richard's pocket.
But why give our envelope back to me?
I don't know, monsieur, but those were my instructions.
Richard, I think the Opera Ghost is using you as his drop-off point.
What? That's absurd.
Actually, it makes a lot of sense. The Opera Ghost knew he couldn't get our envelope directly from Madame Giry because we were watching her. Instead, he had her slip the envelope back to us. Later on, once our guard was down, the Opera Ghost simply picked your pocket.
Truly, the Opera Ghost is a mastermind beyond compare.
Well, I've heard enough.
Richard?
Madame Giry, you may go for now. Report to this office before tonight's performance, and we will proceed as usual.
Are you sure, monsieur? I'm not in trouble?
Not at all. After all, we mustn't offend the Opera Ghost, right?
Certainly, messieurs. In that case, I'll return for the envelope this evening.
Richard, what are you doing? Why are we putting another envelope of our money into that woman's hands?
Don't you see? It's brilliant! We'll go about our business as usual, only this time we know what to look for. When the Opera Ghost tries to pick my pocket, we'll catch him red-handed.
Well, perhaps you're right.
Of course I am. Mark my words, mon chairman. The Opera Ghost's reign of terror ends tonight.
Now, wait for me behind the building. I'll meet you there with Mademoiselle Daye when the performance is over.
There she is, the little baggage who made our family a laughingstock.
Philippe, you have every right to be upset. Just remember, your family is one of the most established houses in France.
Well, thank you, Alphonse.
I mean it, Philippe. I have no doubt that your family will ride out this little storm.
Exactly. The Chinese will be around long after Mademoiselle Dai is gone and forgotten.
And a week from now, people will move on to some other scandal.
So, we're a scandal now, are we?
No, of course not. Philippe, you know that's not what I meant.
Yes, well, of course.
Well, at least Christine is respectable. I mean, of all the singers Raoul could have picked.
Hey, this elopement is not happening.
Philippe, not so loud. People are staring at us.
Then let me say it quietly. Both of you are missing the point. I made a lot of sacrifices to put Raoul in his current position, and now it's his turn to make good. Well, shouldn't I expect some return for all my hard work?
Raoul might not see it that way.
It's not up to him. The Chinese put family first. That's why we're one of the most established houses in France. If Raoul's hoping to slink off quietly this evening, then he's going to be sorely disappointed.
She's just placed the decoy envelope. Any moment now, she'll be back to slip you the real one. Be careful, Richard. I don't want to lose another 20,000 francs.
Don't worry, mon chairman. I'm way ahead of you. Thank you, Madame Giry. That will be all.
Richard, what are you doing? Have you lost your senses?
Help! Let me out! Do you hear me? I'll call for the police.
This is a crucial evening, mon chairman. Now that I have the envelope, I had to ensure that she couldn't contact the opera ghost.
And what are we supposed to do later, when she contacts the police?
By then we'll have the real thief in custody, and we can explain everything.
Richard, I really think we're crossing a line here.
So report me to the police. Do you want to catch this thief or not? That's what I thought. Now stop worrying. We'll let her out once we've caught the thief.
Fine. What do we do next?
Just keep an eye on me as I go on ahead. The moment someone tries to steal the envelope, we'll have him.
We'd better.
You haven't heard the last of this, you scoundrels!
Richard, I think someone's coming. Could it be?
Yes. Now get ready. This is it. Gotcha!
We've done it, Richard!
Oh
dear.
Remy?
Really, messieurs, what is the meaning of this?
As you know, Remy, we've been trying to catch the opera ghost. I suppose it's too much to hope that it's you?
You can't be serious.
No, I suppose not.
Our sincerest apologies, Monsieur Remy.
Well, there's nothing for it. Mon chairman, let's proceed to our office. One way or another, we're catching the opera ghost tonight.
From your office?
Of course.
Richard is very preoccupied with this, Remy. We're not to be disturbed. Is that clear?
Yes, but what if... So sorry to have disturbed you.
We remained here last time until 10 o'clock.
Yes, that's right. No one entered the office besides us, I suppose?
No one. I must have been robbed after we left the office. Perhaps on my way home?
That doesn't seem likely. I dropped you off in my carriage.
Well, surely I wasn't robbed in my own home.
It's possible, but it seems more likely that you were robbed outside our office, shortly before we left in my carriage.
Let's hope so. I don't like the idea of the opera ghost robbing my house.
I don't blame you. Hopefully our plan works tonight, and we'll never have to worry about him again.
Are you really going to read a newspaper at a time like this?
I thought we'd decided that the opera ghost robbed you after we left the office.
Well, I suppose when you put it that way, there's no harm in a little reading. Just keep your wits about you, will you?
We haven't caught him yet.
Of course. Richard, about the opera ghost.
It's you, isn't it?
What? I was about to ask if it was you.
Me? How could you possibly suspect me? I've led the charge in trying to catch him.
But that's just it. So far, none of your schemes have worked. What if you're just leading me on, and your schemes fail because you're the opera ghost?
That's ridiculous. Maybe my schemes fail because I let you in on them. Because you're actually the opera ghost.
I didn't think of that. You make a fair point.
Of course I do. Now let's stop bickering. This will all be cleared up once we catch the real opera ghost tonight.
I'm just saying. Madame Giry never slips any money in my pocket.
The subject's closed, mon chairman.
Fine.
Mesdames and messieurs, please remain calm. The opera will conclude. Just as soon as we can locate Mademoiselle Daae.
Raoul must be making his move.
But, Philippe!
I have to stop him.
Come in.
Oh, madame, you'll never believe what has happened. Mademoiselle Daae has disappeared and no one can find her.
Disappeared? But it's in the middle of Act 5.
Yes, madame, and the audience is getting restless, the opera will be ruined, and then what will we do?
Calm down, Maria. I know exactly what to do. I shall sing Act 5 myself, and make a glorious return. Now, go quickly, and tell the crew that I'm coming.
Yes, madame.
Maria!
Yes, madame.
I wasn't finished. After you tell the crew I'm coming, bring me one of the Marguerite costumes.
Of course, madame.
Darius! Christine has gone, Darius. That monster has taken her.
It would seem that Eric preempted us.
Yes, I figured that out for myself. What are we supposed to do now?
We will rescue her, of course. Follow me. Now, let's see if we can activate the mirror's mechanism from this side. Aha! Before we enter Eric's domain, do you have a pistol with you?
Yes, I've been carrying one ever since Eric tried to kill me.
Good. We may need it before the night is through.
What about you? Are you armed as well?
Always, monsieur. Now follow me.
Well, she must have disappeared down a trap door.
That still doesn't explain why the lights went out.
Monsieur Remy, has anyone found Christine yet?
No, but Carlotta will be singing in her place.
Well, that's something. At least the opera can continue.
Sorelli, have you seen Raoul? I know he was sitting in the front row.
He left his seat as soon as Christine disappeared. I don't know where he was heading.
Blast! He must have gone straight for his carriage.
May I speak to someone in charge here?
Oh, good. The police.
Indeed. I am Officer Mifoi, and it seems I've arrived just in time.
I'm Monsieur Remy. How can I help you, officer?
Well, Monsieur Remy, as I understand it, Mademoiselle Daae has vanished right off the stage.
And don't forget about us, Monsieur Mifoi. We called you here to arrest the managers for locking up my mother.
The scoundrels.
Rest assured, madame, the managers will be dealt with. First, however, we need to determine what happened to Mademoiselle Daae. For all we know, we could be dealing with an abduction.
This is no abduction.
And you are?
I am the Comte de Cheny, and I can tell you that this was my brother's doing. He's run off with Mademoiselle Daae, and we need to stop him.
Indeed. I am aware of your brother's engagement, Monsieur le Comte, as is most of Paris. If I may ask, has Mademoiselle Daae consented to this course of action?
Of course she has.
Well, in that case, thank you for resolving this so speedily.
What are you talking about? This isn't resolved. Raoul and Christine have run off together, and we have to stop them.
It's not illegal to elope, monsieur. Under normal circumstances, I'd ask the managers if they wanted to press charges against your brother for disrupting the opera. But I'm afraid the law is not on their side tonight.
Fine. If the law can't do anything, then I'll find Raoul myself.
Philippe, wait a minute.
Well, I believe that settles Mademoiselle Daae's disappearance, at least for the moment. Monsieur Remy, where can I find the managers? I should like to speak with them. Now.
They've been shut up in their office for hours. They have no idea what's been going on out here.
Really? Well, they're in for a surprise. Take me to their office.
Blast! Raoul's carriage is already gone. But if he thinks I'm going to give up that easily, he's mistaken. I'll find them, if I have to search every street in Paris. Driver, let's go. We'll start with the main streets, as fast as you can.
Thank you for your patience, mesdames and messieurs. The opera Faust will continue. In the absence of Mademoiselle Daae, La Carlotta has graciously returned to sing the final act.
Well, I think we can go now.
Yes, this is when we left our office last time. Remember, once we leave the office, we're a target again. Keep an eye out for our thief.
Richard, wait. Before we leave, let's double-check the envelope.
Nobody's been in or out of this office for hours. Aren't you being a little paranoid?
It isn't paranoia when 20,000 francs are at stake.
Oh, very well.
Well?
The envelope is gone.
This is no time for jesting, Richard. Show me our money.
See for yourself.
What? It can't be.
I don't understand. We had the envelope when we came in here. And nobody's been in this office except for you and me. You. Somehow you're behind this.
Is this a joke?
No one else knew our plans, and no one else was in the office. I don't know how you did it, but it must have been you.
That's the last straw, Richard. I've supported these ridiculous schemes against my better judgment, but until now, I've always tried to give you the benefit of the doubt.
And what's that supposed to mean?
The envelope was in your pocket this entire time, so you must have taken it. I don't know what kind of twisted game you've been playing, but it's obvious that you plan to frame me for your own theft. You are the opera ghost, and I denounce you as a liar and a thief.
Very well reasoned, Mon Chairman. But there's one fatal flaw with your theory.
Oh, this should be rich. What have I missed, Richard?
I know that I didn't take the envelope. So the only other person who could have done it is you. Give me back my money, do you hear me? Give it back!
I swear I haven't got it.
Open this door in the name of the law.
Did you hear that, Mon Chairman? Give my money back, or I'll tell the police about the opera ghost.
That's all I wanted to do in the first place, you imbecile.
I am Officer Mifoi. I should like to ask you both a few questions.
Certainly, officer. Perhaps you should close the door, Remy.
Now it seems that these women have a grievance against you.
Yes, they locked my poor mother in a closet.
I could scarcely breathe. It's a good thing my daughter found me when she did.
Is that what this is about? We don't have time for this nonsense right now.
Nonsense? I was assaulted and imprisoned. Arrest them, officer. Especially Monsieur Richard. He kicked me earlier, too.
And they both tackled me. Not that anyone cares.
Well, messieurs, what do you have to say for yourselves? Come now, let's have it. What's been going on here?
Officer, I realize this doesn't look good, but we are actually the victims here.
Yes, we've been robbed of 20,000 francs.
Goodness, you've lost 20,000 francs and you're still in business? I'm in the wrong profession. And where does Madame Giry come into this? Do you suspect her of stealing it?
Yes. I mean, no, she helped to steal it.
What he means is, we believe that Madame Giry has been an unwitting accomplice to the real thief.
Exactly. We only locked her up to keep her away from the real thief, so that we could trap him.
Messieurs, this is ridiculous. Why didn't you contact the police the moment the money went missing?
Well, because the real thief warned us not to.
I see. And the real thief would be? Monsieur Richard?
He calls himself the opera ghost.
He works in mysterious ways, but who are we to question him?
Mother?
I can see that this is gonna take a while.
Darius, wait. Won't Eric be expecting us?
He certainly will. Eric knows that he broke our agreement by abducting Mademoiselle Daye, and he'll be ready. Fortunately, I found a different entrance into his lair. It's hidden in the third cellar.
His lair has a second entrance?
Don't forget that Eric worked on these very foundations. He probably has secret tunnels throughout the entire building. Now, let's press on. We'll be there soon.
We're coming, Christine.
Now, if only Eric built this catch the same way. Aha! That's Eric for you. He may be brilliant, but he still has his preferred way of doing things.
If he's so predictable, then why did he catch you with the tripwire on the lake?
You make a good point, monsieur. In my defense, most of the traps that Eric designed for the royal court didn't involve lakes. All the more reason to go this way. Wait, do you hear that?
Christine?
Yes, and Eric too. Listen.
Weren't we happy, Christine, during that week together? I just don't understand. You said you were happy. I'm sure you did. And now you won't even look at my face. Raoul's turned you against me.
Please, Eric, just let me go.
I can't do that. Raoul would take you away. Christine, you promised you'd come back to me. Why did you try to run away?
What choice did I have? The last time I was here, you wouldn't let me leave.
But I wouldn't have harmed you, Christine. Never. I only kept you here so that you could get to know me better.
I learned everything I needed to know when you abducted me.
Is that so? Well, what choice did I have? If I'd played things above board, would you have given me a chance?
I honestly don't know.
Well, there you are. I'm not proud of what I did, but don't I deserve a chance at love too?
If this is your plan to find love, then you obviously don't understand it.
How dare you?
It doesn't sound good. We'll have to act quickly. Monsieur de Chesnay, once we're inside, it's imperative that you hold one hand at the level of your eyes.
What good will that do? It makes it harder for Eric to use his lasso on you. And above all, keep your wits about you. We don't know what other traps might protect Eric's lair. Now, are you ready? Yes, I'm ready. Good. Let's go. Ah!
What was that?
Trespassers, my dear Christine. Trespassers with a fatal sense of timing.
Darius, are you all right? I think so. We didn't fall very far.
What happened?
Eric must have rigged a trap door under his secret entrance.
Do you think he knows we're here?
Almost certainly. Start feeling the walls for an exit, and be ready for anything.
These walls are as smooth as glass.
What? Are you sure?
Yes, they definitely feel like glass. Is that a problem?
Monsieur, we are in terrible danger. I think I know where we are.
Eric, what are you talking about? How can there be trespassers in your house?
Oh, my mistake. Did I say trespassers? I meant to say tonight's entertainment.
Eric, what is this?
What indeed? Let's shed some light on things.
What? What is this place? Darius, where are we?
The worst possible place we could be.
There, that's better. Now, let's have a look inside. Just as I suspected, it's Darius. Oh, and this is a surprise. Raoul is there too.
Raoul? I don't believe you.
See for yourself, then.
It is Raoul. Eric, what's going on?
Well, Christine, it's perfectly simple. These two gentlemen have attempted to rescue you from my diabolical clutches. But instead of entering my lair undetected, they've dropped straight into my torture chamber. How delightful!
A torture chamber? Eric, what do you mean?
Again, my dear, perfectly simple. The mirrored walls disorient the victim, and meanwhile the room heats up. I imagine that it's already quite stifling in there.
That's horrible! You're going to burn them alive?
No, no, no. That would take hours, and I'm a busy man. As a matter of fact, I'll set them free whenever you wish. As long as you agree to marry me.
What? No.
Why not?
Because I don't love you. And if you really loved me, then you'd set them free.
Well, there's no hurry. I've heard that these things can take time. Of course, Raoul probably can't afford to wait as long as I can.
How could you?
Don't be upset, Christine. Who knows? Perhaps Raoul or Darius will defy the odds and find a way to escape. Better yet, why not urge them to find the way out? We must be sporting about this, after all.
Raoul, can you hear me?
Christine! Where are you?
Eric said that there might be a way out. Please, you must find it.
Thank you, Christine. Darius, you know Eric better than I do. Where would he hide an escape mechanism in this chamber?
Well, hidden switches are one of Eric's specialties. It could be almost anything that moves, bends, or turns. I'll start on this end of the chamber. You search the other side.
Understood.
Well, how are they doing? Have they found a way to escape yet?
No, and they've been around the entire chamber twice now.
Dear me, that isn't good. How much longer Do you think they can keep this up?
They will find the way out. Just wait and see.
Of course, Christine, of course. But they'll have to escape soon. Optimism can only take you so far, you know. Darius, it's so stifling in here. I can hardly breathe.
I know, monsieur, but don't give up.
I'm so thirsty. I don't think I can do this for much longer.
Don't give in to despair. Remember, Mademoiselle Daya is counting on you. We must keep looking.
Yes, we must keep looking. They won't last much longer, Christine. It would seem that their attempts at escape have failed.
Be honest with me, Eric. Is there actually an escape from that chamber?
I never said, in so many words, that there was.
But you implied it!
Nonsense. You inferred it.
Eric! Eric, enough of this cruelty. Let them out before they die.
I'm not even sure I have the key to that room anymore. I might have lost it in the lake.
I mean it, Eric. No more games. Let them out of there.
And why should I?
What do you want?
I thought I'd made that abundantly clear, Christine. I want to live like everyone else. I want an ordinary house with a wife inside it. A wife that I can love.
Do you really expect me to marry you after everything you've done?
Yes. I can't go on living like this, and I shouldn't have to either. You're my chance at a normal life.
I still don't love you, Eric.
You still haven't given me a chance. A real chance. I assure you, even if you don't love me now, eventually you could. Christine, the time has come. Choose your freedom, or choose me. But I warn you, if you choose your freedom, then Raoul and Darius die in my chamber. Choose me, and I promise to let them go free. Decide quickly, my dear. They're on the verge of losing consciousness. Christine, don't.
Eric, yes, I'll become your wife, but only if you let Raoul and Darius go unharmed. Do I have your word?
Yes, as long as you're my wife, they will come to no harm.
Then I give you my word, Eric. I will marry you. Now let them go.
At once, my dear. Messieurs, I've deactivated the heating mechanism. The room is already cooling down. Please toss your pistols in the far corner of the room, where I can see them, and then I'll let you leave. Well, what do you know? You can follow simple instructions after all. Head straight for the exit, messieurs, and for your own sakes, don't try anything. Christine has agreed to marry me of her own free will, and you're in no state to oppose me in any event. Christine, is it true?
Raoul, I'm so sorry. This was the only way I could save you.
But, Christine...
Please, Raoul, you're dearer to me than I can say, so how can I let you die? You'll be all right. You have a high position in society. Go and live the life you were meant to lead without me.
I don't want that.
Raoul, if Eric kills you here, then it's all been for nothing. Please go.
And don't come back. Darius, where are you going? We can't just leave her like this.
I agree, monsieur, but we cannot help Mademoiselle Daya if Eric kills us. I need to think of a new plan. Right now, leaving is our only option.
But Christine is going to...
Eric barely showed us mercy this time. If he finds us arguing on his doorstep, I assure you the result will be fatal. We aren't giving up, monsieur. We will find a way to stop Eric, but you must give me time.
Ugh, I guess you're right.
They're gone, Christine. We're alone now. Christine, you're crying.
Of course I'm crying. I put on a brave face for Raoul to make him leave, but I can't be brave anymore. Please just let me cry.
Christine, I know you're upset now, but everything's going to be fine. It's been a difficult day. Why don't I play some music to cheer us up?
You really don't understand, do you? Raoul loved me enough to risk his life, and I loved him enough to let him go.
But I love you too.
Love? All you've done is demand sacrifices from me. Sacrifices that you'd never make yourself. Is that what you call love? No, I didn't think so.
Christine?
You have what you wanted, Eric. I gave you my word. I hope you're happy, because I don't think I'll ever be happy again.
You're right. Perhaps you'd stay here, like you promised. Perhaps you'd try to love me. But even if you did, I could never make you happy, could I? No, you would never be happy. And forcing you to stay won't change that.
Eric, what are you saying?
Please, go to Raoul and be happy. I won't trouble you again.
Do you really mean it?
Yes, my dear. Please just go before I change my mind.
Oh, Eric, thank you. Thank you.
Goodbye, Christine.
Raoul, come back.
Christine, what's happened?
He let me go, Raoul. We can leave together.
But why would Eric change his mind?
This isn't like Eric. Wait for me here. I must speak with him.
But Darius?
We all have our responsibilities, monsieur. Keep Mademoiselle Daae safe, and leave the rest to me. Why, Eric? After all of that trouble, why did you decide to let her go?
I freed Christine, didn't I? Does it really matter why?
To Monsieur de Cheny, perhaps not. But as the man who once spared your life, I cannot ignore the evil deeds that you've committed here. Is this a genuine change of heart?
What would you do if I said no? Are you here to finish me once and for all?
Don't take this lightly, Eric. I've recovered my pistol from the torture chamber, and I won't hesitate to use it.
I suppose I shouldn't have left it lying there. But then I never cared much for guns.
For your own sake, Eric, tell me the truth. Why did you let Mademoiselle Daae go?
I thought that Christine was the answer to everything, Darius. My anger, my loneliness. I was certain that with enough time, she would forget Raoul and make a new start with me.
And yet, you obviously changed your mind. What happened?
I suppose, in a way, I underestimated Christine. It was just a few words, Darius. but she made me see how I'd broken her heart. And suddenly, I found that I pitied her situation more than mine. I couldn't go through with it anymore, that's all. And if I couldn't go through with it, then there was no point in keeping her here. It was better to let her go with Raoul, so that she could be happy again.
You really mean it, don't you? After all this time, you're starting to discover your humanity. And yet, I really can't leave you here, haunting the opera house. Well, would you be willing to turn yourself in and pay for your crimes?
Do you really think that prison could hold me?
No, I don't suppose it would. What am I supposed to do with you, Eric?
To be perfectly honest, Darius, I'd assume that you would shoot without asking any questions. I don't know what to do with myself either.
This goes against my better judgment, but I'm willing to offer you an alternative. Come with me, away from this dungeon you've made for yourself.
To what end?
To what end? To teach you how to live. I'll find a place where you can start a new life and supervise your progress personally.
Darius, why should you do all that?
I've also done things that I can't atone for, Eric. Perhaps in this way, we can both be redeemed.
Perhaps. Perhaps it's not too late.
That was exhausting. Madame Giry, from now on, I suggest that you steer clear of mysterious envelopes and opera ghosts.
Yes, Monsieur Mifroid, we understand. Thank you.
Thank you.
Monsieur Remy, would you kindly arrange for a carriage? I'm afraid this evening has been rather hard on them.
Of course, officer. Leave it to me.
Thank you, Monsieur Remy. And when the opportunity comes to retire, seize it. Ah, Monsieur Richard.
Monsieur Mifroid, about everything.
I don't ever want to hear about you locking women in closets again. Is that clear?
Absolutely, officer.
And the next time a threatening letter arrives, for goodness sake, let the police handle it.
Yes, officer, this won't happen again.
See that it doesn't. Oh yes, and one more thing. If a more thorough search for your money fails to turn up anything, you know where to find me. Good evening, messieurs.
Good evening, Monsieur Mifroid.
Mon Chairman, is that what I think it is? It says, with the opera ghost's compliments.
Open it.
40,000 francs!
That's the 2 salaries we paid him. He's returned it.
Well, go on, take your share.
Well, after this final act of generosity, I'm almost ready to forgive the opera ghost.
Quite right. All's well that ends well.
Although...
Yes?
It's just strange that the money reappeared after Officer Mifroid left. Perhaps the opera ghost knew that the law was getting too close.
You still think it was me, don't you?
Well, if it was...
It wasn't! Now let the matter drop.
Very well, Richard. Let's never mention the opera ghost again.
I should certainly hope not. Good night.
Good night, Richard. I'll bet it was him.
Philippe, I've been looking everywhere for you. Where did you go?
To the edge of Paris and back, that's where.
Philippe, I have some good news.
I must have searched every street in Paris, but I never did find Raoul. So I decided to come back here, just in case anyone had seen anything useful.
Yes, Philippe,
I drove in from the opposite road, and what do you think I found?
What, Philippe?
Raoul's carriage. It's still there on the opposite side of the building. How am I supposed to find Raoul now? It's been hours. He could be anywhere.
That's what I've been trying to tell you. Raoul and Christine never left the building. They're in the lobby right now.
Well, that's good to know.
I thought so too.
Okay then, Raoul. It's time to settle this.
Raoul! Philippe is back. He's just behind me.
Oh, of course.
Well, Raoul, you wanted a scandal, and now you've got one. You just had to elope in full view of the public, didn't you?
That isn't what happened. Do you remember the rival we talked about? He tried to abduct Christine. He also caused the disturbance.
Do you really expect me to believe that?
I suppose not, but it's the truth. And I've already told you that I wasn't planning to elope.
Then you have some difficult choices ahead of you, Raoul, because you'll never have my approval to marry Christine.
Honestly, Philippe, I've just faced certain death and nearly lost the woman I love. I won't lose her again. If you refuse to accept that, then we'll just have to deal with it as it comes. Think what you will of us, but from now on, Christine and I are in this together.
Raoul, where are you going? Don't be absurd! Raoul!
Oh, how romantic.
Romantic? It's a disgrace, that's what it is.
It doesn't seem disgraceful to me.
Oh, come now, Sorelli. They're making a huge mistake. It would be just as bad if I asked you to marry me.
Well, I wouldn't marry you even if you asked me.
What? Sorelli? Sorelli, wait! I didn't... Can we talk about this?